We back. Welcome to the culture, the hottest broadcast in the game. Go to my playlist section. We have an entire playlist dedicated to this series. And in this series, we discuss who is committing the craziest crimes across the nation and across the world. Now, as you already know, this series was inspired by me listening to certain conservative personalities in the media who had a habit of focusing on crime in the black community, often framing it as if it was unique to us. So that inspired me to dig deeper into the actual data, the actual crime headlines and the statistics to see who is really committing the most heinous crimes across the nation and across the world. Now, today we're going to be talking about a U.S. Army vet who went missing over the summer and nobody knows what happened to him until now. But before we get into that, I want to start out with something a little more lighthearted. I don't want to jump head first into anything too heavy just yet. Let's start out with something a little more, comedic, lighthearted, right? So today, take a look up on the screen, October 3rd. A Bahia man has been arrested in Lafayette County for theft of heavy machinery. Right now, let's get into this article. Back on April 1st, 2025, deputies with the Lafayette County Sheriff's received a report of a stolen Bobcat T300 skid steer. The machine was reported stolen by the victim and was unable to be located. After a few months, investigators received a tip about the machine's location. The machine was located in Marshall County and returned to the owner. After an investigation was conducted, investigators obtained a warrant for grand larceny on John Leith Halley Jr., 48 years old, of Mississippi. Right, so this guy right here, this is the heavy machinery, right? So I don't know how he managed to run off with this and get it to a whole different county without nobody noticing. But like I said, man, welcome to the culture, man. Welcome to the culture. Man, listen, ever since we started this brand new series, I'll say this. The one thing I'm most astonished by is the sheer bizarre nature of the crimes. Some of these cases we talk about are just so bizarre. Like, that's the only way to describe some of these cases, man. It's just bizarre. Why are you still in heavy machinery? Anyway, let's continue, man. Now, let's jump into the main event. Let's talk about this U.S. Army vet that went missing over the summer. And now we have just figured out what happened in this case. Now, like I said, I wonder why the conservative political talking head grifters are not ringing the alarm about a U.S. Army vet who went missing and nobody knows what happened to him. And, he served the country faithfully, You never hear these guys. They pick and choose what cases they want to highlight and talk about. That's why we had to make the culture. That's why we had to start this series, because we have to talk about what these guys are scared to talk about, right? They want to talk about what's happening in the black community. They want to talk about what's happening over in this country. They want to talk about what's happening over in China and this and that, but they don't want to talk about what's happening right here at home, in the American suburbs, in the American gated communities, in the American cul-de-sacs, in the American neighborhoods. You don't want to talk about what's happening right here at home in your own community, but you want to talk about everybody else's community. So that's why we had to start this brand new series, man. The culture. We had to talk about what these guys are scared to talk about, what Matt Walsh will never talk about, right? What Charlie Kirk would never talk about when he was still around, what Ben Shapiro will never talk about, what Benny Johnson will never talk about, what Anton Daniels will never talk about, what the Hodge twins will never talk about, what Brandon Tatum will never talk about, what Candace Owens will never talk about. We got to talk about it right here on the culture. Welcome to the culture. Now, let's get into this story, man. U.S. Army vet went missing. Nobody even knows what happened. Nobody said nothing. Let's get into the story. Take a look at this headline. I don't regret it. A duo has been arrested after decapitating their roommate and confessing to the alleged crime. Let's get into the article. Matthew McLaughlin, 25 years old, of Virginia, moved in April with a puppy and his two Army buddies. He got a job at the Chili Line Depot and shared a residence with his friends. Then he disappeared. He was last seen on July 26, a couple months ago, on the south side, walking towards US 64. Two men have been arrested after allegedly killing their Army veteran roommate, dismembering him and scattering his body parts along a New Mexico highway. Now, time out. Now, what is up? What is up with this demographic when it comes to dismemberment, right? Like, what is up with the desire to chop somebody limb from limb? Like, what is up with that? That goes beyond just regular assassination, right? What is up with that? Even in the recent case of the young lady out in California, who the guy just got arrested because he stuffed the body in the wall, right? She was also disposed of in a similar manner, right? Limb from limb, chopping off the arms and legs. Like, what is up with that? I don't understand, man. Welcome to the culture, man. Let's continue. Rainer Joyner, 23 years old, and David DeGrow, 22 years old, both originally from Georgia, are accused of killing their roommate, 25-year-old Matthew McLaughlin. Joyner and DeGroat have been charged with first-degree murder. And then one of the suspects said, "I did it. I effed him, and I don't effing regret it." Court documents say the two men ambushed McLaughlin and then dismembered him over several days. Joyner admitted that he shot the individual with a rifle and then again with a pistol. Then, subsequent days later, he continued to dismember the victim. Now, I don't know what is going on in the United States of America. Like I said, I know it's easy to talk about so-called black crime, but we got to admit, when it comes to the crime in your demographic, you have graduated to the upper echelon of criminality. You have a level of sophistication when it comes to the criminality you engage in. Now, let's continue. Next story. A man has been arrested and accused of setting a person and a pickup truck on fire. Man, listen, man. Y'all chopping up y'all army buddies. You stealing heavy machinery. You setting people on fire for no reason. Man, what is going on with this demographic? Let's continue. Next story. October 3rd, today. A Cameron man has been arrested following an investigation for welfare fraud. Right? This guy right here. James Brunsman, accused of filing fraudulent paperwork with the social services. Man, listen, these guys trying to get, these guys scamming for the welfare. And that's what I'm saying. We spend so much time worried about black crime, right? We spend so much time talking about the so-called Nigerian scammers, right? But lo and behold, look what these guys getting into, the welfare fraud. Bro, what is going on in America? Now, next story. An armed robbery suspect has been arrested. October 3rd, today. A suspect in the armed robbery of a Monroe business was arrested on Thursday. According to the Mason County Sheriffs, their enforcement team worked alongside MCS Patrol to help the Monroe Police Department find and apprehend Craig Douglas Moore. Deputies say Moore has been identified as the suspect in an armed robbery of a Monroe business. Man, listen, y'all scamming for the welfare. You robbing the mom and pop shops. Man, what is going on with the white man in America? Let's continue. Next story. October 3rd, today. A Jacksonville man faces multiple charges after a domestic violence incident. A 34-year-old Jacksonville man, Kyle Floyd, was arrested early Thursday morning following a domestic violence call. Jacksonville police responded to the incident shortly after 4 a.m. on October 2nd. That was yesterday. Officers found that Mr. Floyd had assaulted his wife and discharged a firearm during the altercation, though nobody was injured. Upon further investigation, authorities discovered narcotics and firearms in the residence. Mr. Floyd is accused of striking his wife multiple times in the face and threatening her with a firearm. He also discharged a handgun into the home, which was occupied by one adult and 3 children. Man, welcome to the culture, man. Let's continue. Next story. A Tequesta man has been arrested for stalking and using a tracking device. Man, let's get into it. October 3rd, today. A man is in jail after being accused of using a tracking device on a woman's car. Mr. Kyle Quinn was reportedly stalking his ex-girlfriend and approaching her at Publix and CVS and even trying to break into her apartment. The victim said she found the tracking device on the undercarriage of the car. Mr. Quinn is facing several charges. This latest arrest comes just days after a new Florida law enhances penalties for installing tracking devices. Man, welcome to the culture, man. Welcome to the culture. Let's continue. Next story. October 3rd, today. A stranger murdered 2 teenagers found dead earlier this year in a remote hiking area. Now, these were the victims. My condolences to their families. Let's get into the article. Detectives used DNA evidence and witness statements to connect a man arrested Thursday to the murders of 2 teens at an Arizona campsite earlier this year. According to information that came up during the initial court appearance, Mr. Brown, that's the suspect, he is married and a self-employed military veteran. He has a status conference set for Wednesday and a preliminary hearing 2 days later. Authorities believe Mr. Brown acted alone. We don't know why this individual did what he did because he invoked his rights not to speak, according to the Maricopa County Sheriffs. Now, that's the suspect right here. Apparently, they say he's self-employed military, got a wife at home, and they just said he just randomly just killed 2 teenagers out in a campsite for no reason. Let's continue. A couple has been arrested after a child tests positive for meth. Let's get into it. According to the affidavit, Special Agent Blair Abels with the 3rd Judicial Drug Task Force stopped a vehicle on August 10th for expired tags. During the traffic stop, the agent located items consistent with the use of meth inside the vehicle. Also located inside the vehicle was a 6-year-old child. The child tested positive for amphetamines, methamphetamines, and THC. It is believed that due to the drugs being abused inside the home of the child, that Brian and Margaret administered or caused to be ingested, inhaled, or otherwise introduced methamphetamine to a minor child. Now let's continue. A stalker teenage boy live streamed after he killed 2 girls with a car. This guy right here, we actually spoke about him on the episode yesterday. If you remember those two girls, they got hit by the car while they were riding the e-bike. And they're saying that the suspect just hopped on the YouTube live stream the next day and was just chilling, kicking it on the live stream. Right. And you know, he's like the nephew of the police chief. Right. Yeah. And he was just on live stream, just chilling yesterday. Let's get into it. A 17-year-old New Jersey boy allegedly live streamed on YouTube a day after fatally striking 2 teen girls with his car on Monday this week. New Jersey 101 reported that the teenage boy took to YouTube on Tuesday to claim that he was bullied and talk about the government not handling the mental health crisis. A day earlier, the teenager reportedly ran over Maria and Isabella, both 17 years old, as they rode e-bikes in Cranford. The suspect drove for a short distance with one of the bikes under his Jeep before the vehicle became disabled. New Jersey 101 reported that during Tuesday's live stream, the teen commented how much engagement he was receiving from the viewers. Bro, what is going on in America? What is going on in the culture? Let's continue, man. Residents claimed that the teenage boy had been stalking one of the girls and he would park out front of her home for 3 months. One of the girls had a restraining order against him. Now, what is going on in the culture, man? Welcome to the culture, man. If they thought black crime was entertaining, if they thought black crime was something to talk about, man, like I said, different level of criminality over here, man. Let's continue. October 1st, the other day, a Moberly man has been charged with attempted child enticement after Instagram messages to a minor. Let's get into it. Court documents state that on September 21st, 2025, a couple weeks ago, someone told the police that a 54-year-old man named John Teal had sent messages of a sexual nature to a minor. The police officer said the conversation started back on August 15, 2025. The messages were sent on Instagram and led up to 2 meetings on September 21st, right? So, man, like I said, they're talking about the black man, the black man, the black man. Meanwhile, the other man on the Instagram DMs coming after the children, looking for the children, linking up with the children. But they talking about the black man, though. Let's continue. October 1st, the other day, a doctor has been arrested for alleged patient sexual assault. It don't stop. It don't stop, man. It don't stop. Let's get into it. Boise police responded to a call for service regarding a report of a sexual assault on September 2nd. Police say the adult female victim received support from service providers and detectives from the Special Victims Unit immediately, and they began an investigation. The investigation found the suspect and the victim knew each other through a doctor-patient relationship, with the victim being the patient. The police also say evidence indicates the suspect, 45-year-old Alexander Wills, made aggressive physical contact with the victim and committed forcible penetration by the use of a foreign object. Now, welcome to the culture, man. Welcome to the culture. Welcome to the culture, man. It's time to have some real conversations in your community. Let's continue. Next story. The police arrest a Southbridge man on child endangerment related charges. This guy right here, right? Let's get into his story. I can take one look at him and I can tell the energy is off. I can tell he's up to no good. Let's continue. Thomas Richard Wilson, 37 years old, was arraigned Friday in Taunton District Court on charges of reckless sexual endangerment of a child, enticement of a child under the age of 16, and possession of child exploitation material. Don't stop, man. It never stopped. Let's continue. Wilson met the victim, in this case, 14 years old, on Reddit after stumbling upon a concerning post that indicated that she wanted to date older men. Wilson stated that he had been communicating with this juvenile for approximately 1 month, and they had agreed to meet in person. I repeat, Wilson said that he has been communicating with a juvenile for 1 month, and they agreed to meet in person. The defendant, Mr. Wilson, claimed that his intention in meeting with the juvenile was to educate her about the dangers of interacting with unknown older men online. Did you hear what he said? He said when the police sat him down for the interrogation during the investigation, he said the reason why I linked up with this child was because I was going to give her a lesson, a lecture, an education on the dangers of meeting strange men on the internet. Let's continue. Wilson allegedly told police that he was with the girl for 7 minutes before he was confronted by her father and her brother, which resulted in him being forcibly pulled from the car. Oh man, listen, father and brother, I know you got beat. You lucky you alive, for real. Next story, today, October 3rd, Panama City. A Lynn Haven man has been arrested for allegedly assaulting a 5-year-old girl. According to court documents, 74-year-old Michael Caraway inappropriately touched the victim over the course of several months in 2025. The victim allegedly told officers that Mr. Caraway also had exposed himself to her. Mr. Caraway has been charged with lewd and lascivious assault of a child under the age of 12 and lewd and lascivious exhibition, 18 years or older, with a victim less than 16. Now, like I said, man, 29% of the population, white males, dominating in the most disturbing areas of criminality, in the most despicable, demonic areas of criminal activity, dominating the statistics. It's crazy, man. 5-year-old girls, bro. Welcome to the culture, man. Next story, October 1st. An Ohio child assault suspect has been arrested after fleeing the state for 7 years, right? So this guy, right, I guess he got caught up like 7 years ago, touching the children. And then he fled the state and they finally caught up with him years later in 2025, right? See, these guys be going on the run. Remember a few episodes ago, we talked about the city councilman who went on the run for 2 years. These guys be going on the run, man. They get caught, they pack their bags, they gone. Let's continue. Let's get into the article. An Ohio man was arrested and charged with assaulting a child repeatedly for 4 years when the victim was 13 to 17. Mr. Mark Lerner, 44 years old, fled to Indiana when he learned that he was under investigation back in 2018. Man, listen, man, them guys, man, they grabbed that luggage. They gone, man. They gone. Man said he fled to Indiana. Mr. Lerner came back to Ohio on September 26th last week, but he refused to speak with detectives. Man, listen, he came back to the state. He thought the coast was clear. He must have thought, man, I've been on the run for almost 10 years. They probably forgot about me now. Nope, snatched him right on up. Let's continue. The police began investigating the allegations back in 2018 after the victim confided in a friend. Mr. Lerner allegedly fled to Indiana after learning about the investigation. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. Anyway, next story. October 3rd, today, a Watertown man has been arrested on charges of child exploitation materials. Like I told you, man, a white man getting arrested for this type of crime is like a homeless man getting arrested for trespassing. Happens every day across America. Happens every day across the culture. Let's continue. According to New York State Police, damn, that's like the second white man in like a week, right? No, the third white man in like the last 10 days that got hit with the federal indictment. Yo, what's going on, bro? The third white man in New York in like the last 10 days that got hit with the child exploitation materials. Let's continue, man. Members of the New York State Police Computer Crimes Unit and the Bureau of Criminal Investigation in Watertown investigated a residence on Alexandria Avenue in the city of Watertown. The investigation stemmed from a cyber tip received by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Man, like I told you, y'all got to stop playing with the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Listen, they're not playing with y'all. They all inside your house. They know your residence and everything. They tracking down the residents. They know what you're doing. They know what you're watching. Stop looking at the kids, bro. Stop. The National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. As soon as you look at the stuff, they already know what's going on, bro. As soon as you start watching it, they already got you on the list, bro. Stop watching it. Y'all going down every single day, bro. It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look. Let's continue. October 3rd, today, a man has been arrested in York County for alleged possession of child exploitation materials. Crazy, man. Now, I know according to the federal government and the Federal Sentencing Commission, white males are only 29% of the population and almost coming in at 80% when it comes to this type of criminal activity. But when you actually go through each case and track it every single day, you start to realize, man, it hits different when you look at new indictments coming in every single day. Like, it's one thing to get the stat and the number, but once you actually keep track of the stories coming out every single day, multiple indictments in 1 week, like, bro, it really hits different, and it really makes you think, bro, what is going on with the demographic? Let's continue. Next story, October 3rd, today, a Sour Lake man has been arrested for the assault of a child. Man, listen, 29% of the population, white males, dominating the game, leading the league in the most demonic activity. Let's get into it, man. Crazy, boy. On October 3rd, this morning, today, at approximately 6 a.m. this morning, with the assistance of Galveston County Sheriff's Sour Lake Police Department, investigator Mr. Malfino arrested the suspect, Christopher Reviere, 47 years old, for 2 counts of assault of a child under 17 and 1 count of indecency with a child. Both are second-degree felonies. A search warrant was executed on his residence located in Country Wood in Arden County. The investigation of Mr. Reviere began when they received an outcry from a female victim. The investigation resulted in evidence confirming that Mr. Reviere assaulted a child under the age of 17 on multiple occasions and indecency with a child. The investigation is still ongoing at this time. Now, fresh off the press, he was arrested this morning at 6 a.m. Like I said, man, every single day. Like, they always talk about the crime in the black community, the black men committing X amount of crimes, right? But when you take the mirror and I put the mirror back up against you and we examine the type of crimes you engage in, I think at this point, I think you regret opening this conversation. I think you deeply regret even opening the Pandora's box for us to actually look at what you are engaging in. What type of crime are you indulging in, right? If I was you, I would just stop talking, man. I would just shut up, bro. I would just shut up. Anyway, let's continue. October 2nd, yesterday, the police arrest a man facing felony sex crime allegations. It's crazy, boy. Authorities have arrested a 40-year-old man, a Kansas man, for kidnapping, assault, and other sex crimes after serving a high-risk warrant on Thursday. Crawford County jail records show that Mr. Nathan Derry was booked for kidnapping, assault, criminal sodomy, and exploitation of a child. He was held without bond on Friday. According to the criminal complaint, a woman said Mr. Derry assaulted her on September 15th, a couple of weeks ago, and held her against her will. Bro, how many stories have we heard about these guys holding women against their will, bro? Holding them against their will. What is going on with that? That's probably what happened in the case of the young lady out in California, where they found her body stuffed in the walls. I guarantee dude probably held her against her will, and he did what he did. You had one guy said he had people locked in the basement for 10 years. Another guy got arrested. He had a woman in involuntary servitude in slavery. Now this guy got women against their will. What is going on in the culture? Let's continue. The woman also told authorities the same day Mr. Derry showed her an explicit photo of a teenager. Man, what is going on in America? What is going on in the culture, man? Welcome to the culture, man. Let's continue. Next story. This one back in April of this year. Gainesville police arrest a man who allegedly possessed more than 2,500 images and videos of child exploitation material. A search of Mr. Hanna's residence revealed numerous electronic devices and a childlike sex doll, a torso. Oh my God, bro. With size 6 female underwear on it, along with other pairs of children's underwears. Officials said that forensic analysis revealed over 2,550 images and videos of child exploitation material in total. The content of the abuse included that of bestiality. Now, for those that don't know, bestiality is humans engaging with animals, pubescent children, and prepubescent children. Now, what is going on in the culture, man? Now, I know I said welcome to the culture, but I did not know the culture had all this going on. I didn't know the culture had this all involved. And y'all worried about the black community? Y'all worried about the black man this and that, the black man this and that? Oh, man, listen, I know you got to distract yourself from the calamity taking place back at home. You got to get your mind off the chaos happening back at home. So you want to distract yourself talking about the black man this, the black man that, the black community this, the black man that, the black woman this, the black this and that, right? Because you want to distract yourself and take your mind off the total destruction and calamity taking place back at home, man. I get it. Your community is upside down. Let's continue. A man has been arrested for filming a woman in a Mississippi tanning bed. Man, nobody's safe. Ladies can't even go get a nice tan at the tanning salon. What's going on in America? What's going on in the coach? Welcome to the Culture, man. October 2nd, yesterday. The man wanted for allegedly filming a woman in a tanning bed has been arrested. On September 23rd, a couple weeks ago, Mr. Zane Birrick, 42 years old, was identified as the suspect wanted for the unlawful recording at Wyatt's Gym on Manor Drive in Vicksburg, and he is wanted for questioning. Next story. A former Shelbyville school board member has been indicted on federal charges of child exploitation materials. Man, like I said, it don't stop. From the policemen to the sheriffs to the state troopers to the judges to the councilmen to the congressmen to the pastors to the coaches to the lawyers to the doctors. It does not stop. It doesn't stop. Even the first grade teachers engaged in the debauchery. Listen, man, I'm saying we have to have a conversation, man. 29% of the population, white males, coming in at almost 80% clip for this type of criminality. What is going on in the community? Let's continue. According to court documents, Mr. Finkel allegedly convinced a minor to engage in sex acts so he could record it back in April 16, 2024. On June 5, 2025, federal agents found child exploitation material on his iPhone. The indictment describes multiple videos showing the abuse of babies and young children. Mr. Finkel previously served on a school board for Shelbyville Central Schools. The U.S. Attorney's Office is handling the case. The indictment, filed on August 26 in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Indiana, charges Mr. Finkel with 1 count of sexual exploitation of a child under 18 and 1 count of possession of child exploitation material under 18. Now, listen, I have nothing to say, man. Welcome to the culture, man. I have nothing to say. The school board members, they also getting in on the debauchery as well. Has there been any sector of the society that hasn't been corrupted and contaminated with these proclivities? What is going on, man? 29% white males committing almost 80%, between 70 to 80%, 29%, almost 80%. Welcome to the culture, man. Next story. A Barber County man has been arrested for assaulting a young girl for 5 years. September 30th, the other day. A Barber County man has been arrested and accused of assaulting a young girl for 5 years, beginning when she was 7 years old. Mr. Roscoe Keener, 76 years old, confessed to touching the now 12-year-old. The victim told police that Mr. Keener assaulted her every single time she went to the building by herself when she was 7 years old, starting when she was 7 years old. The police said the assaults occurred in a small outbuilding structure that Mr. Keener lived, located directly behind the girl's residence on the same property. Mr. Keener is charged with 5 counts of abuse by a parent and a guardian or custodian, and 5 counts of first-degree assault. He is currently in the regional jail with the bond set at $100,000. Welcome to the culture, man. I have nothing to say. Like I said, let me know when Matt Walsh, let me know when the Hodge twins, let me know when Ben Shapiro, let me know when Benny Johnson, let me know when any of the so-called conservative talking head grifters ring the alarm about the calamity taking place in their community. Little 7-year-old girls ain't even safe. Nobody's safe. Can't even go to the tanning salon by yourself. White man gonna come out and record you. Can't do nothing out here, man. Can't do nothing. Innocent teenagers getting killed at the campsite under mysterious circumstances. Black women being dismembered and stuffed in the walls of a trap house. 2-year-old boys getting kidnapped. 15-year-old girls getting kidnapped. 14-year-old girls getting kidnapped. What is going on in America? Anyway, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the Billy, yes indeed. Second single off the next project, The Spy and Bamako, pin comment at the top. Subscribe to the Patreon, NTD1814, link in the description, and I'm gone. Peace.
Feel like a see me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yana in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming he innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit him with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Mother Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in the savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine, give me help when I count it. Money machine, stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots, I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell him get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try, but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison, hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous, turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she precious. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots, I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try, but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison, hoping they wishing we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous, turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she precious. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heat.